What's your name?
Sharon. Sharon.
Sharon. Right. Brilliant. I'm David. Now, I'm not going to go through all that list before. I've got your IES. It looks quite high. Would you idea roughly what score you would have on that? Thinking of the columns.
27, 28.
Okay. And how long ago was this event?
41 years ago.
41 years ago. But you're not that old. How's that possible?
Such a pleasure.
Gets you everywhere. Okay, 41 years ago, scores above the 25. It's definitely, and it's something, it's affecting your life in any way?
Yes.
It is affecting your life, okay. Okay, so we're not going to go through all that. So assuming that's the IES, we've discussed anger. Is there anger, depression, wanting to get back, taking to drink heavily?
No. Just emotional.
Emotional,
Yeah.
okay, fine. So what I tend to say here is that the kind of treatment you might be expecting today this is going to be a little bit different. Okay, and I'm going to teach you something new, almost like teaching you a game, if you like. So I'm not expecting you really to get it straight away. Okay, if you're trying to teach me a game, you'd lose your patience. Okay, but don't worry about it. It's a simple game, but I'm not expecting you to get it straight away. If you do, great, wonderful. Okay, so the game's about a film that goes forward and backwards. Okay, the film is about your traumatic event. Okay, but we want you to imagine that you're sitting in a little cinema. You know these small cinemas now, and there's a projection room behind you, and there's a big screen in front, and there's nobody else around you. There's comfortable seats for your eyesight, and the film is going to start soon, as I said, about your traumatic event. But before it starts, I want to ask you, have you ever been on a roller coaster?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you like that at all?
No.
No. Okay. I'm going to ask you the same question a slightly different way now. While you were on the roller coaster, I was taking a video of you. Okay. And so now here in my study, I'm going to project that video onto the screen. And so you're going to see yourself going around. Does that give you the same kind of feelings as when I asked you, have you ever been on a roller coaster?
Yes.
It's identical, is it? Well, I can't understand why that is.
Yeah.
Sure, I understand, but I'm asking about the feeling of being in a roller coaster. So, were you not, when I asked you, have you been in a roller coaster, do you feel that you're in it and looking what's happening?
Yes.
Yeah? But here, you're not doing that. On the screen, I'm just seeing you going around. So, it's a bit more detached, maybe? It's not as intense, the feeling, or is it as intense, watching you going around?
Not as intense.
Not as intense, exactly. Now, there's a reason why I'm asking you this, okay? The first film, is about your traumatic event. But first of all, it doesn't start like you go straight into it, okay? The moment we talk about your traumatic event, you're in it, yeah?
Yes.
That's happening,
Yes.
okay? We're going to start, because it's a film, we can do that, we're going to start with you just before the traumatic event happened. It could be a few minutes before, or a day before, when everything was fine, okay? Do you have such a good starting point?
No.
Then there is no good starting point, because you have never had a good starting point.
No.
Okay. Now, we'll come back to that in a second. The film itself, I said I'd like you to watch it. Okay, so it's a bit like when I showed you me videoing you up there,
Okay.
to try and stay detached.
Yeah.
So you're staying detached watching it, but
Yeah.
it's not always possible to do that. So you might be like when I said, have you been on a roller coaster, start reliving it. Yeah. If you're getting very emotional, you might even say to me, hey, I can't do this. Okay? So what I want you to think is, there are three ways to get to the end of this first film. One is you stay detached. Two, you might feel you're getting yourself back into the film and re-experiencing it, but if you get to the end of the film, that's fine. Or you might think you're re-experiencing the whole thing, you're reliving the whole thing, but you get to the end of it. Now clearly, if you can stay detached, you don't get upset. Nobody gets upset, okay? If you do find yourself getting upset, say to yourself, why am I doing this? Why don't I just watch the film? It was recorded, okay? And then, when you get to the end of the film, something else happens. But before we get to the end of the film, I have a feeling, is this a one-off traumatic event? It is, okay. Before you get to the end of the film, you've got a good starting point, which we will find, and then when you're watching the film, we need to put in every sound, smell, and images we cannot leave out anything. Okay, it's no good saying, oh, I'm watching a film, that bit I want to miss, so I'm going to go around it and go there. If you miss that, this treatment's never going to work. So this will be the last time you'll ever see it involuntarily anyway. So if you do it properly and get to the end, that'll be great. Okay?
Yeah.
Once you get to the end of the film that you're watching, here I want you to metaphorically imagine yourself stepping into the screen. Don't get out of your chair. Okay? Just imagine you're now stepping into the screen. And once you're in the screen, where the film ended, the film is being rewound at great speed back to the starting point. Okay? So essentially it's a good starting point, putting everything in, stepping into the film, film's rewound back to the good starting point. The other important point to say is that if it takes you, for example, 2 minutes to watch the forward film, okay, then the rewound part of the film should be very fast, something like 10 seconds. So you can't reconstruct in the rewound part what you saw in the first. You have no idea what you're going to see, because you're going to be pulled back really quickly. Everything's going to go away from you, and you're going to go back to the good starting point. Okay? Now all we're missing is a good starting point. Okay? Now I've come across this now a few times now, and it could leave you completely perplexed. Why doesn't this person have a good starting point? Well, I have a few good ideas why you don't. But let's imagine a good starting point for you, how you really would have liked to have been. For example, I can give you an example of the lady I treated recently. I don't have a good starting point. The one I was telling you about with all the sexual abuse for years. So she just could not see a good starting point. So I said, well, we're going to have to make up what you would have liked life to have been, really. And so she said, okay, I can see us all around the table, Christmas time, everybody laughing. It never happened, okay? But she wanted that to be how life could be. You need to insert there how you would have liked life to have been that day. Can you make one up? A nice one.
It's difficult.
I'm not saying it's easy, but if you want to do this properly, we've got to make it up.
Okay.
But you've got to like it. You really got to believe in it. That's how it should have been. Yeah? Okay. Okay, you got a nice close-up? Good, looking good? Brilliant, well done. Okay, now, I'll just repeat what we have to do, okay? We're sitting in a cinema, the lights will go down, the film will start. The film will start with a good starting point, the one you just made. You'll then let the film roll all through everything you tend to recall today. Okay? Does your recall also include something that didn't happen that could have happened? No, your recall is actually factual, what happened. Okay. So good starting point, factual recall, sound, smell, and images. You then stop watching the film, step into the screen, and the film gets rewound at great speed back to the good starting point. Notice I always say the film gets rewound. You are not rewinding the film yourself. You are not watching the film being rewound. Okay? You're just feeling yourself. For example, in a roller coaster, it comes to the end. Okay?
You push it back.
Yeah, exactly. And it starts going backwards. Can you imagine if it starts going all the way backwards? Yeah, but that's what it's going to be like for you. Great. So, would you prefer to do this with your eyes open or closed? Okay. So, what I want you to do is to do this in a continuous loop. Okay, so it's a good starting point, through to the end, step in and come back. Without speaking, without saying a word, continuous loop. The forward film has all the sounds and smells, etc. The rewound film has none. It's all too quick. Okay, it's like a Charlie Chaplin film. Boom, comes back to the start. And when you finish doing that, you just open your eyes, because otherwise I'll never know when you finished. Okay? So don't do anything now. I'll ask you to close your eyes. I'll take you through it. When I say go, then you do the whole thing, and when you finish, just open your eyes. Don't worry if you don't get it right. Okay? Right. Big breath. This could be a fantastic day for you. Okay, so close your eyes. You're now in a little cinema, nobody else around you. There's a projection room behind you and a big screen in front. You're sitting somewhere comfortable for your eyes. And the lights are now dimming in the cinema. The light on the screen is lighting up. And the film's starting now. Go. Don't say anything, just, okay? Did you have a good starting point?
Yeah.
Did you put everything in that you normally always see?
Mm-hmm.
Everything, sounds,
Mhm.
smells, images, right? When you got to the end of the film, did you step in to the film and the film was rewound at
It's
speed?
always on the screen.
You're in the screen,
Mhm.
well done. And then when you're in the screen, was the film rewound really fast?
Yes. I could just see my screen and then I was back in the chair.
Right. Did you feel yourself pull back?
Yes, it was just like
Boom.
an instant.
Just like
Yeah.
an instant. Okay, and where did you end up?
I was outside the screen. Not in the cinema, I was outside the door.
Right. Is that where you started the film?
No.
No. Where did you start the film? I mean, you don't have to tell me. What I want you to do is you have to get back to the good starting point.
Okay.
Okay? But you're doing very well. So I would say that, as I say, how can you learn a game straight away? Okay, there are too many things to remember, okay? So the good starting point is like, for example, somebody has a car crash, right?
Yeah.
And we want them to get back to driving properly. So if they start their film with, I'm in a car driving beautifully, and then they come back and they say, oh, I've come back to when I was just leaving the house and closing the door up, we're not going to get back to driving.
Yeah.
We're going to get back to opening a door again or whatever. Okay, it's not what we want. So we want to come back to an identical same point. Okay, that's very good. When the film was rewound, did you stop when you got there and stepped in, or did it all go to a fairly good continuous loop?
No, it went in a loop.
It went in a loop. Did very well. That's good. So I think you're about 95% there.
Okay.
That's pretty good. Okay, so we have another go.
Okay.
Okay, don't do anything until I tell you to. Just close your eyes now.
So I have to be back where my starting point was.
Yeah. Tell you what, why don't we just do this? This is quite a useful little exercise. You close your eyes and you put your hand up like that. Okay?
Okay.
And then you start just the rewound bit. Right? And then open your eyes. Okay? So if I'm now telling you that I'm going to start my rewind, I'm starting my rewind, I look at it and I open my eyes. Okay? You get that?
Immediately, just open your eyes
So-
as soon as you put your hand down.
No, put your hand down and then you start doing the rewind. And when
Okay.
you finish doing the rewind, you just open
Okay.
your eyes.
Okay.
Okay, so let's practice just that bit now.
Okay.
So you close your eyes, hand up, and when you're ready to do just the rewind, you're in the screen and you're being pulled back to the good starting point. When you're ready, just put your hand down and then do it and open your eyes later. No, hang on, I think it was a little misunderstanding,
Yeah.
sorry. You just don't do the forward film.
Okay.
It's just the
first.
rewind.
Okay.
Okay, so when you put your hand down, you're just being pulled back,
Okay.
and that's all it is, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Is that fast?
Yeah.
Really fast.
Mm.
Okay. Did you feel yourself suck back? Brilliant.
Mm.
So now we just need to do the whole loop. Okay?
Okay.
Take your time now. Doing very well. Okay, nice big deep breath. Okay, just hopefully this is the last time you need to do this. So you're now sitting in a cinema. Okay, there's no one around you. Projection room behind. Big screen in front. You're sitting somewhere comfortable for your eyesight. The lights are dimming, the screen's lighting up. Film starting now. Go. Okay, good starting point?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Put everything in, all the terrible bits and nasty bits,
Yeah.
everything's in.
I'm back
Then-
there.
Then you stepped into the film,
Yes.
and then you were sucked back to the same starting point.
Yes.
Great. So, the first time, it took 2 minutes, yeah, 120 seconds. I can see me counting because I'm kind of seeing a clock and going, okay? You have a clock up there, or you do, it's easier. Okay, she got to 2 minutes. I'm getting a little bit fidgety here at 2 minutes because I'm thinking, I wonder if she's going to go over because she's obviously suffering quite a lot. So then we did it again, and this time it was quicker, about 48 seconds. And that often happens because the person's now got the gist of it, can do it better. Often it happens also that doing it again, they see things they didn't see the first time. Did that happen? No.
No, it's the opposite.
It's the opposite. You saw less. You saw what was really relevant. Excellent. So are you happy with what you've done? I mean, you're not going to go away and say, I didn't actually put in what I needed to put in.
No, I put in what I needed to put in.
Good, good.
And the recalling, getting into the second one, was, it's as if it was like fast forward.
Okay.
Just going right into the fast forward, getting through it. So,
Was that because you were trying to get through quickly, or was it just happening?
No, it was
okay.
just, I couldn't recall all the colours, the smells,
Right.
the image.
Yeah. But the one you did is the recall that you normally get?
Yes.
Or you put in more before? I see,
Yes.
you're thinking a bit more about it before.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I am happy to let her go, okay, as treatment, I think she's done it well. You may not think she's done it well. Neither of us know whether she's done it well, okay? So what we say to our clients is this: I think you've done it well, based on my experience. I think you've done it well. If you've done it well, then this will start working very quickly, probably from today. But it'll get faster and faster every day. It's almost as if, because I've had this happen to me, is that the trigger will happen and you'll think you're going to go down that route again, but the rewind comes and just stops it. Okay, and that happens so quick that over 2 weeks you just can't, it just won't happen. Okay, no matter what the triggers are out there. That's on the good side. But let's say you haven't done it properly. Okay, what will happen is for the next few days, it'll feel as if you've done it properly. And then it'll wear off. So I don't want you to think, oh my God, what was that? It was a waste of time. You know, I won't go back to that therapist because they do it. You know, no. I will say to you one thing: please don't do this again when you get back home. Do not do this again, because if you do it again incorrectly, then I'm stuck with you with the two kind of memories, an incorrect one and the real memory. Okay. So don't do it. Just see how you feel, see what other people say about you, because everybody else notices straight away there's something different about you. But if you've done it incorrectly, it'll work for a few days and it'll wear off. If you're terribly worried, call me. I'm there. But otherwise, I'll see you in a week or 2 weeks, whatever is our arrangement. And so because what could happen is that you might have done it incorrectly, and by that I mean you may not have put everything that's really, really important, or you may have just watched the film being rewound or not. But you're saying this, and that's a kind of double sneaky check just before you're sending them home. Sometimes you find, oh well, I think I did actually just watch the rewind. So we've double checked on you here. Okay. Good. So you'll go home. So don't do it when you go home, and I'll see you in 2 weeks' time. All right?
Okay.
Okay. Well done. Thank you very much.